Okay, we're going to start in child's pose. Please have your left side facing the camera and extended child's pose, reaching your arms forward as you sit with your glutes toward your heels, your knees separated a little bit so you have room for the belly to expand with your inhale. Let your breath be deep. Let your head sink down. If it can't reach the mat, you can put a block there, or instead of extending your arms, cross your arms and let your forehead rest on your crossed arms. And just let yourself sink down in child's pose for just a bit. Feel the breath through the back of the body, through the side, the ribs, as well as the belly expanding. Try to breathe slowly and completely. Exhale out tension, anxiety, and inhale peace. Feel yourself relaxing with the exhale, releasing physical tension as well as mental. Excuse me. Let's try to keep our attention on our practice today and on our breath. Do the best you can with moving with the breath, even if it isn't the same breath I might be instructing. Still make your breathing deep and complete. With your next inhale, inhale up to hands and knees. And adjust so your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Do some cat-cow, inhaling when the belly drops. Your chest opens. And exhale when you close the front of the body. Pull your abs in a little bit. Inhale when you arch inward and downward. And exhale when you round up like a Halloween cat. Keep moving. One movement, one breath. Helping the breath, the oxygen move through the body with the movement of the muscles. This be a kind of moving meditation, inhaling with your eyes closed as you open your chest, lift your heart a little bit. Exhale when you round. Feel the movement. Feel the breath. Now come back to a neutral spine. Let's warm up the back a little bit more. Reach your left leg straight back and your right arm straight forward. Try not to lift your left heel higher than your glutes. Try to lock the knee nice and straight. Right arm straight forward. This is one time when we can walk the knee because we don't have any weight on it. You can make that leg nice and straight. Your arm straight. If you don't feel balanced, if you find yourself rocking side to side, lower your hand and leg and adjust your supporting arm and leg and come back up. Don't keep rocking. Reminds me of a 60s saying. Yeah, you all know what it is too. Or 70s, maybe. Something about rocking and knocking, right? Lower down, lift your right arm, left leg. Feel the whole back working. Reaching out, keeping the arm and leg parallel to the mat. Trying not to arch your low back. Keep your abs a little bit active. Find one place to focus your eyes. You still need to use that drishti. It's called that focus. Keep your balance. Remember, don't lift your head up too much. You're looking forward, but you're not pressing the back of the neck. Lower your leg and your arms. Now adjust your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders without shifting your hands or your feet. When you do this, curl your toes under and push back to downward dog. Stand. And lift both heels up if you want. And press your right heel to the mat. Let your left knee bend. Lift both heels up. Press your left heel to the mat, right knee bend. And keep alternating sides slowly. You don't go la, 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 right? You do it slowly. If you want to, you can use your breath here. You can inhale as you lift your heels. Inhaling slowly, your heels will be done before your breath, so you hold them up while you finish inhaling. Then you exhale one heel to the mat. And you finish exhaling as you hold it. And then you inhale both heels up and other side. Moving slowly, body and breath. Now lift your right leg slowly up, slowly. Don't lift your right hip though. Don't tilt over to the side, not yet. Keep it straight. Three-legged dog. Push back. This is still a dog. Now bring your right heel towards your right buttock. Lower your knee a little bit. Lift your knee out to the side. Lift your hip with it. Try to keep your left elbow straight. Hold it. Bring your right knee down, almost beside the other knee. Straighten it back for a moment. And then bring it forward to a lunge. You can lower to your knees, step your right foot forward, and then lift your left knee back up. However you need to do it to get that lunge with the heel under the knee joint. Lift your chest. We're going to come to a one-legged forward bend. So move your hands a little bit forward or a little bit back, whatever you need to help yourself start walking that back foot in. Lift it up. Stretch down kind of like a head to knee. And then lower that left foot down and you're in a forward bend. Reverse swan dive, arms out to the side. Flatten your back as you come up. Crescent moon to the right. You can shift your hips left or you can keep your hips straight above the heels. It's all what feels right to you today. Slowly come back up. Crescent moon to the left. Slowly back up. Release your hands. Tree pose. Right foot down. One-legged forward bend again. And lunge it with good alignment. Right leg back up into the air, three-legged dog. Lower the right leg down to hands and knees. And rest in child's pose. Hold child's pose. Feel the breath. Feel the body. Excuse me. My new microphone should be here Tuesday. They say that's the earliest. And we'll see. It's a direct connection, so it's not a Wi-Fi. All the advice I'm getting is not to use Wi-Fi, to use cables. It's kind of confusing with the phone, but I think I can do it. Back up to hands and knees. Push back to downward dog. Slowly lift your left leg up. Hold it, three-legged dog. Bring your left heel towards your butt. Lower your knee down a little bit, and then take your knee out to the side. Lift your hips. Lift your knee as high as you can without bending your right elbow. Lower your knee back down. Straighten your leg back. You're going to lunge, so do the lunge however you need to get there. Left leg forward. On your fingertips or hands on blocks. Lift your chest. One-legged forward bend. Forward bend. Reverse swan dive. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Left foot down. I guess we could do crescent moons again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, crescent moon first, this time to the left. Slowly back up. Crescent moon to the right. Remember to try to keep your head equal distance between both arms. Slowly up. Release. Tree pose, right side. Right foot down. Nope, sorry. Left foot down. One-legged forward bend again. If you just joined us, do a warm-up. Don't try to do these deep stretches yet. Step back to lunge. Lift your left leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Back to downward dog. Back to hands and knees in child's pose. Hold child's pose. Come up to hands and knees. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Lift your right knee up. Adjust if you need to so your left knee doesn't go forward. Keep your right hand down. Lift your left arm up. Try to have your right arm straight down from your shoulder. Don't push back with the lifted arm. Just have it straight wherever that works with your torso rotation. Lower your left hand down so you can use it for help. We're going to go into revolved half moon. So you're going to reach your right hand forward a little bit. Keep your right hand down as you lift your right leg and your left arm. And straighten your left leg. Reach it forward, come up. You can have your hand on a block. Twist. Left arm is up. Right arm is down. Right arm is still approximately down from the shoulder. Lower your left arm down. Come back to the lunge. Adjust your feet so you can be balanced without your hands being down. And come part way up, put your hands in namaste. Hook your right elbow to the outside of your left leg. Your left elbow points up. Push against your palms. Hold it. Lower that back knee down if you need to, of course. Lower your hands. Straighten your left leg out. Keep your fingertips down. Pyramid version, head to knee. Bend your left knee again. Lower your right knee to the mat. Back to hands and knees. Resting child's pose. Hold it. Come back up to hands and knees. Right foot forward. In a kneeling lunge, then lift your back knee up. Keep your left hand down, your right hand up as you twist. Let your left hip drop down a little bit. Lower your right hand down. Reach your left hand a little forward. Lift your left leg, lift your right arm again. Lower your right hand, come back to the lunge. Feel your balance. Put your hands in namaste. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, knee area. Press your right elbow up. Press into the palms. Lower both hands down. Straighten your right leg out. Pyramid style, head to knee. Bend your right knee, turn center, and adjust your feet. Sit, or forward bend, wide forward bend. Put your hands on your hips. Lift your chest, flatten your back. And then come all the way up, tighten your abs. This is harder than arms out to the side in some ways. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees from the left, heel to arch alignment. Inhale, arms up. Shift your hips left. As you tilt the right hip down, let the left hip come up a little bit. Keep tilting your hips. You can reach out a little bit, and then come down to a nice straight line triangle. Hold it. Remember, don't push back with this lifted arm. The rotation happens at the hips and the ribs and the torso. Let your chest collapse. Keep your spine long, even here. like a mountain. Reaching out through the back of the neck even. Looking up if it's okay with your neck. Pull yourself up with your left hand. Turn your right foot forward. Left foot out. Triangle to the left. Try to keep your spine long, your back straight as you go into it. That'll prevent you from leaning forward and doing like trying to touch the floor or something. Instead of making it a triangle, it becomes a forward bend. Pull yourself up. Arms up. Left foot forward, right foot out 90 degrees. Keep your left arm reaching straight up alongside your head, not touching it, just alongside. Bend your right knee and lean over to the right side. Left arm reaching. If this isn't good for your shoulder, then you can keep the left arm reaching up. Lengthen your spine. Don't rotate. Don't turn your chest toward the floor. If you need to, you can be up a little higher. If you want to, you can be down a little lower. Carefully reach your left arm up, tighten the muscles, pull yourself up, straighten your right leg forward, arms up, right arm stays straight alongside your head, left foot turns out, and come down into extended side angle on this side. Again, if your shoulder doesn't like that, arm up. Remember, it's an angle, it's not a curve. Reach your arm up, pull yourself up, both feet forward, arms up, swan dive with control. Forward bend, and then hang there. Onto your fingertips, step or jump to mountain distance. Hold your big toes with your index finger around the bottom of the big toe. And kind of lift your chest, bend your knees a little bit, the version of monkey, kind of an asana. Where you can just pull down in a forward bend. Release your toes, become seated. Cross-legged, left leg in front or on top, however you cross. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Exhale as you reach forward from the hips and then down. And hold the stretch. Slowly back up. Twist left. Hold the twist. Let your right buttock lift. Try not to let yourself lean to the left or lean back. Nice and straight. Untwist. Right leg in front or on top. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach forward and down. Stretch. Hold the stretch. Slowly up. Twist to the right. Come back to center. Now, take your block. If you don't have a block, you can use one of those small balls, or you can use a couple pillows. You can use a bolster, I guess. You could use a bolster. You could fold a blanket up to be the height of a block. Even higher, and it's softer. We're going to do waterfall, a version of shoulder stand. Now, if your practice normally includes or often includes a shoulder stand, you can go into a full shoulder stand. If you know how to set up the blankets to support and not put pressure on your neck, and you know all those things, don't just go into the shoulder stand because, oh, well, I think I'll just do it. Please don't. Because, I mean, considering the neck and the shoulders, you don't want to break your neck. You don't want to strain your neck muscles. You don't want to damage your spine or your spinal cord. So if your body's not used to doing it, you don't want to do it. Full shoulder stand. You have to work your way into those things slowly and carefully and regularly. So that all being said, we're going to use our block. And you can have the block this high. You can have it this high, or you can have it this high. So if it's flat and it supports, it's kind of a more comfortable support when it's flat. It can be on the long end. It's lower that way, and it's not as much pressure. And it's not on my low back. Right here's my low back above the block. It's on my sacrum, right? Right? So it's a little bit above my buttock muscles. It's on my sacrum, part of the spine that doesn't have vertebrae, part of the spine that's right above the tailbone. So do the block or the blanket however you want, or you can just stay down on the mat. You don't have to lift your hips at all. And lift one leg up and lift the other leg up. And hold it. You can also lay with your legs up the wall and your buttocks, your back on the ground. You can, if you're not on a block, you can put a strap around your legs and hold them up. Find a way that you can be up here comfortably, not hurting yourself. No pressure on the neck, or I wouldn't be turning my head. Trust me, when I'm in a shoulder stand, I do not turn my head. Full shoulder stand. And let's just hold this for a little bit. This is really good for us. It's really good to have the legs above the heart. If you lay on a chair with your buttocks down on the floor and your knees bent 90 degrees, that's so nice on the back. And again, it's good for the heart. The heart pumps out. It's always pushing out. The circulation that comes from the leg, it pushes out, and it pushes whatever's already out there back up with the closed system. And there's valve. It pushes a little bit, and the valve closes. It's going to push a little bit more, and the valve closes. It kind of makes it easier on the heart. This is good for the thyroid, hypo or hyper. Good for the brain. Always a nice thing. Now again, whether you're down, whether you're on the wall, however you're doing this, separate your legs carefully, slowly. Gravity starts to take over when they get certain width, and you don't want to go pump out and tear in these inner thigh muscles or in the groin. Slowly separate your legs. Once they get there, let them relax. The knees might even bend slightly. That's okay. Hold the pose. Always, if it gets to be too much, go back to where you were previously. You can bring your knees to your chest if you're not on a block and hug. You can bring your knees to your chest if you're on a block, but don't hug and rock. That would not be a good idea. Now carefully, you're going to bend your knees and bring your heels in towards your groins. Your knees are still wide. Your heels are low. Let the big toes touch, or all the toes touch, or the ball of the feet touch. And you can reach up here and hold your legs if you want, so you can relax a little bit more. If the bottoms of your feet aren't together, just your toes are touching. And if this gets to be too much on the back, the block, if you lower it to the flat side, if you don't have it on the flat side, it may be more comfortable. If you're already on the flat side and it's not comfortable, then lower your legs, lift your hips, remove the block, and just do this with your back on the mat. Now bring your knees together. Legs up. I'm going to put my feet down, and I'm going to turn the block to flatter. Like this gets to be a little bit too much. Legs up again. You can cross. Let's cross the right ankle above the left knee on the thigh, just above the knee. And you can hold just like we do, and you can do this, as you know, on the ground. You can lower that left leg down, reclined pigeon, with your hips lifted a little bit or not. It's all how you're doing it, how it feels right to you. Release. Cross the left ankle. Hold the right leg. You fold around the hamstring, over the shin. And release. If you still have your hips on something, remove it. Let's do a happy baby. Knees up, bottoms of your feet up, knees bent 90 degrees. You can reach around the bottoms of your feet, pull your knees down toward the outside, toward your armpits, sort of, toward the outside of the ribs. Or if you can't reach your feet or that's too much on your shoulders, wrap your arms around from the outside, hold your calves with your hands to keep your feet up so they don't drop down. You lose a lot of the stretch that way. Pull down, hold it. Lower your feet to the mat, knees bent. Let your knees go wide, bottoms of your feet together, heels in close, reclined bound angle, and just relax for this last little bit. I feel a lot of warmth in my low back, a little above my low back. So we've got a lot of blood flowing to it, a lot of energy flowing to it. Feels good. Knees up. Feet on the mat, core, fingers behind your head, 3-part crunches. Lift a little bit more, lift as far as you can without coming up. Slowly release back. Lift, pulling your upper abs in below the ribs. Lift. Back down. 3, 3, 3. 4, 4, 4. 5, 5, 5. 6, 6, 6. 7, 7, 7. 8, 8, 8. 9, 9, 9. Last one. 10, 10, 10. Now you can do this with your head lifted a little bit, resting in your hands. You can keep your head down, arms by your side, come up onto the balls of your feet. And you're going to do little lifts, little jumps, trying to keep your heels down close to your buttocks as much as possible. Really tuck them in. Bring your knees to your chest. So it's just a little lift with your heels down. You don't swing them up to try to get a bigger lift. Try to stay down and compress with your whole body. 2, touch. 3, touch. 4, touch. This is lower abs. 5, touch. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right leg straight out on the mat. Left knee still bent. Left foot on the mat. You're going to bring your right leg up. Try to keep your left heel down and do that little jump. The right leg is going to help a little bit with this. Try not to swing it up. Try to lift it up. As you lift this foot and then lift. Lower it all the way back down. Stay on the same side. 2. See how I'm lifting? 3. My left foot comes off. My right leg comes off. Lift up. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. You can always put your hands under your buttocks with this if you feel it too much in your low back. 10. Now bend the right knee, foot on the mat, left leg out on the mat. Start lifting your left leg as you start lifting your right. Keep the right heel down close as you lift up. 1. Touch your right foot down. Put your left leg all the way down. 2. 3. Lowering down is the hard part, I think. Slowly, that is. 4. 5. 6. My abs are getting tired. I don't know about yours. 7. which is a good thing, I guess. 8, 9, 10. Hug both knees in. Rock a little bit. Arms out to the side, palms on the floor. So you can push a little bit if you need to. Have your knees in close, your heels down. As close as you can pull them in. Try not to have them out here. Try to have them pulled in. That stretches your back, your low back better. Flattens it so that you're not, if you notice, move your knees out a little bit, you feel your low back lift up off the mat. It's harder to keep it down. Keep your knees in, and you can feel your low back touch the mat. That's what you want. You want to have your low back stretched out like that. It's touching the mat just because it's stretched out and it's rounding down a little bit. Okay, so knees in close. You're not going to touch down. You're going to take your knees to the left, keeping them pulled in. Use those ab muscles that you've been working on. Keep those knees pulled in. Take your legs slowly to the left until that left leg is almost to the mat. Maybe the top part of the thigh is slightly touching the mat, and then keep them pulled in as you lift up. Don't let them move out as you lift up. Pull them in. Yeah, I know. Make it across. Pulled in, pulled in. Keep them pulled in as you take them across. So maybe you just feel the top part of the thigh touch the floor. Your feet aren't touching the floor either. And slowly pull them into your chest and bring them back up. They will, or they may move out a little bit as you take them across. Try to not let that happen. But notice when you pull them, start to lift your legs back up, you might have to pull them in a little bit because they've moved away a little bit. Just don't let them move away real far. Keep going side to side, slowly, almost to the mat before you bring them back up. It works the waist muscles. It works the back. It works the abs. And you make it work more by holding and pulling those knees in with your ab muscles. You're not using your arms. You're using your ab muscles. Those abs stay active so that they do a lot of the work and the back is not doing all the lifting of the legs. Always rest when you need to. Resting in this case, I mean your knees in, rocking side to side. When I get my microphone, I'm going to have to get used to not talking quite as loudly as I do. As you can tell, sometimes when I talk softly, it's hard to hear me. Or when I talk in a normal tone of voice. Go to your right one last time. So finish the left if you're there. If you're already at the right, just finish that. And then hug your knees in. Rock side to side. Oh, this feels good. Lower your legs straight down to the mat. Arms out to the side. Slowly lift your right leg up. Feel your low abs activate. Now, if you can't take it straight across because your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees. That'll release the pull on the hamstrings, but you want it to go as out to the side, not down by the other foot as much as you possibly can. Tighten your abs and bring the leg back up. And lower down. If your hamstrings are really tight, as we've talked about before, you can do this with your knee bent. Just take your knee across and touch it down instead of your straight leg. And bring it back up and lower down and keep moving. This works the abs and the back, the side muscles, muscles that we don't focus on except in this kind of class. And all the muscles should be equally strong, equally toned. Otherwise, one group is going to work harder than the other, and it's going to make you imbalanced in the body, so that the weak muscles might allow the body to become misaligned because the strong muscles are pulling tight. Left leg, one last time. And then you finish with the left leg going across. Hug both knees in. Hug. Rock. Legs straight on the mat. We're going to alternate sides with this. Remember, when you move, when you circle the leg, you stay flat. You don't lean over to circle. You stay flat. Leaning just means that those muscles are weak. So your body is adapting so you can move your leg further. Either the muscles are weak or the hamstrings are tight. So stay flat. Lift your right leg up. Put your hands on your hips. Take it across. You don't need your arms out because you don't take it very far. Put your hands on your hips. Make sure that right hip doesn't lift as you take it across the left leg. Circle it down above the mat. Bring it to the outside. Left hip stays down. And back up to starting position. Now take it out to the right first. Left hip stays down. Go out far. And then just above the mat, take it across the left leg. Right hip stays down. And lift it up and lower down. Left leg, slowly lift. Hands are still on that hip bone. Take the left leg across. Left hip stays down. Doesn't go way far across. Bring it down just above the mat as you take it out to the left. Right hip stays down. Lift it up to starting position. Out to the left. Lowering it down as it goes just above the mat as it comes over and across the right leg. Left hip stays down. Slowly back up and lower to the mat. So keep doing that, alternating sides. Move slowly. Focus. Don't let your body, don't let your hips lean. This is the hip joint and the abs right there around the hip and the back. Again, around the hip area, back and abs. Keep moving slowly, mindfully, being aware of keeping your back, your glutes flat and down on the mat. As you get tired, your body's going to start lifting because, again, you're tired and it's trying to make it easier for you. Try not to let that happen. we started with the right leg, end with the left. Once you finish, hug both knees in, stretch your back and rock a little bit side to side to massage your back while it's being stretched. Those big, heavy leg muscles are great for strengthening the low abs, but we also do not want the hip flexors, the quadriceps, to get tight, which is why the gentle class afterwards stretches those muscles. And if you don't stay for the gentle class, you stretch them on your own. Be sure to stretch the hip flexors, like pull the heel into the glutes, quadriceps, do some kind of stretch. Okay, come over onto your side, please. Legs a little bit forward this time. Stacked. I'm laying kind of toward what is now the back part of the mat. My legs are only forward so that half the foot is off the mat. If I were laying more toward the middle of the mat, my legs might be a little bit forward so that the side of the heel is at the edge of the mat. Keep both legs together and lift, keeping the toes pointing forward. Don't turn the foot up. Don't turn the foot down. Keep them stacked and keep them forward and lower down. Keep them together. 2 and lower. This is harder than straight out. 3, 4. Eek. 5, 6. Your bottom of your foot stays parallel to the mat, more or less. 7. Don't lift the top leg off the bottom leg. Make the bottom leg work to lift. 8, 9, 10. Now bend the bottom knee. The top foot is in front. The bottom knee is bent. The top foot is a little bit forward. Toes are pointing down. Heel is higher than the toes. Can you see my foot? Yeah, you can. Heel higher than the toes. Lift up without bringing it forward. Lower down. 2. See this bottom knee is forward of the top knee. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now point your your top toes. Have the leg parallel to the mat and bring it slowly knee up toward your chest. Again, you're using those ab muscles to pull that knee up as far as you can. And straighten it back slowly out to starting position. It can be straight down or a little bit forward. Toes are pointed, knee to chest. Pull it in. Don't just lift it up there. Pull it in. 2. And back straight. Moving slowly. 3. Back. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Change sides. Legs a little bit forward. Half your foot or a little bit more is off the mat. You can lay all the way down or prop your head in your hand, whatever works for you. Keep both toes pointing forward. Bottom of your bottom foot is parallel to the floor. Lift both legs up. Keep them just like that. Lower down. Don't change the relationship. Don't turn your toes up or down. Don't roll back. 2, down, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm using my arm to help a little bit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the bottom knee. Top leg is straight. Bottom knee is bent just for better balance. Toes are pointing down. Top leg. Heel is higher than toes. A lot higher. As much as you can make. Slowly lift it up. 1. Touch down. 2. Touch. Bring it forward. Just right straight above where it starts. 3, 4. So watch your leg. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Point your toes. Top leg parallel to the mat. Slowly bring the knee up to your chest. Pull it in. Bring it up to your chin if you need to. I mean, up. And then straighten it back. Move slowly. Don't just jam it up there. 2. And slowly back. 3. And back. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Roll over onto your stomach. This lift is still the basic one that we do. It's still the safest. It's the safest for your shoulders because people tend to lift their arms too much when our arms are by our side or even out here. We lift our elbows too much, so we're pulling on our shoulders. If you stack your hands and have your forehead stuck to your stacked hands, then you only lift as much. You can't really pull up with your shoulders a whole lot this way. And you don't lift high. So your legs are straight, your forehead's on your stacked hands, your belly's on the mat. And just slowly lift up without lifting your heels any higher than your shoulders. And slowly lower back down. Slowly lift. And even if you can lift your shoulders and your heels high, try not to do that. Lower back down. Try to just lift enough. Feel it. You can feel it. If you lift real high, you're going to feel it all happening in your low back. Try to feel the muscles in the whole back and the glutes working, the whole back. Feel them, notice them, keep your attention there as you slowly lift and lower. So stay low enough that you just curved up a little bit and you're working the whole back. Keep moving, slow lift. Inhale if you want when you lift, exhale when you lower. Slowly lower down, work your way back to child's pose. Separate your knees a little bit, toes, big toes touch. Stretch your butt to your heels. Reach your arms forward to stretch your upper back. You can bend the elbows if straight forward is not good for your shoulders. Stretch and hold it. Now come back up and lie on your forearms. Elbows under your shoulders. If this is too strong on the low back, move your elbows forward. Sink down a little bit so you get less of an arch in the low back. Don't let your shoulders come up towards your ears or your neck. And separate your legs a little bit. And kick your heels towards your buttocks. Alternating slowly. And lower your forehead to your hands again. This is challenging. Do the best you can. Point your toes, lift your legs off the mat just a little bit. Toes, legs are straight. Keep your legs lifted as you bring your heels to the butt. Keep your legs lifted as you straighten back out and lower down. Lift. You can flex your foot as you bring your heels in and your legs are apart a little bit. Straighten them out. Lower down. Lift. Stay lifted, bend. Stay lifted, straighten, and lower. You'll feel it. Keep moving. You will feel this mostly in the low back and the glutes. Again, don't bend your legs real fast trying to kick your butt or something. You do that too quickly, you can pull a muscle in the front of your leg. So move slowly. Wow, all my clocks are almost the same time since they all had to be reset. They were all set by satellite kind of stuff. Okay, release down, sit back again on your heels, stretch in child's pose, or you can lay, actually everybody lay on your back, hug your knees in your chest and rock side to side, massage your back. It needs it. It needs a gentle massage, being stretched with your knees in. So more of the back muscle touches the mat, and you're massaging more of the low back. Now release. Lay on the mat with your legs straight, arms by your side. Time for gentle. Palms up. If it isn't comfortable to lay with your legs straight, then bend your knees a little bit. Feet on the mat, where you can bend them a lot. We did a lot of back work, so your knees may want to be bent rather than straight. I always, and I still do it, if I'm going to be laying on my back for a long time, like in a long relaxation, I put rolled up blankets under my knees to keep my knees bent and still be able to relax. Just lay there for a moment. Focus on your breath. Let your belly expand as you inhale. Exhale out tension, stress, anxiety. Inhale peace. Feel it. Inhale through to the whole body, all that oxygen, all that peace, that relaxation coming into the whole body. And exhale out. Feel yourself relaxing when you exhale out tension, toxins, stress. Just taking a moment here to focus on your body and your breath. Feel it. Allow it to help you feel both energized and relaxed. It's something that we achieve in yoga. We can be very energized and relaxed at the same time. That's the way we should go through life. Have energy, be doing things, but still being relaxed. Our mind relaxed, our bodies relaxed, so that we notice and enjoy what we're doing. With your next inhale, raise your arms to the floor overhead. You can bend your elbows. You can bend them more, have them arms out like cactus arms, but try to reach up a little bit overhead. And just relax. Don't hurt your shoulders. Feel how that stretches the front of the body a little bit more. As you reach your arms, it's going to possibly lift your low back up because it is stretching. And when it pulls on the pelvis, that'll pull the low back up. Don't try to force the back down. If that's uncomfortable, bend your knees a little bit more. I couldn't lay on my back with my legs straight for years. When I first started yoga, anything I did on my back, I had to have my knees bent at least a little bit, or a blanket underneath my knees. That took a lot of time. That was tight hamstrings. Just pulled on my back too much. But it takes time. Now from here, our usual stretches. Inhale where you are with your arms over your head and your legs down, and exhale as you bring your right knee up and your arms up, exhaling as you move. Pull the knee in, finish exhaling. When it's time to inhale, you lower your leg and raise your arms. With the inhale, still coming in. Finish the inhale. And exhale, other side, left leg up. Exhaling as you move. Try to move with the breath. It's not as hard as you think. Inhale back. If your breath is faster, move a little faster, and then gradually try to slow down your breath. When you slow down your breath, slow down your movement. Keep moving, alternating side to side. Great first thing in the morning stretches, always. These are always good stretches, even last thing at night. We hold a lot of mental tension in our bodies. When we can release physical tension, it really does help to relax the mind. It tells the mind everything's okay. Look, I'm not tense. And then your mind can relax a little bit more. Your adrenal glands can relax. They work overtime in our society, way over time. So just allow this movement and your breath to be a kind of moving meditation, relaxing you. Inhaling as you open the body again. Exhale as you bring the knee up. This is side to side, two sides. This will be a little bit longer. So we get about a minute on each side. Keep moving, keep breathing, close your eyes. Be just you, your breath, and your body. without stopping halfway or rushing to get finished. The next time you're holding your right knee, just keep holding it. Excuse me, use some arm muscle to keep your shoulders relaxed. Pull the knee in, try to relax the right leg. Let your arms stretch your leg. Hold it. I'm going to freeze for a moment. Keep holding that right knee. Lying on your back. Cup your right hand around the top of the knee without lifting the left side or the right side. Your back stays flat, your glutes stay on the ground. Do little rotations from the hip. Pulling it in, letting it move out a little bit. Not out like this. It's out like that all the time. Keep your hand on your knee. Use your arm to move your leg. Keep moving it in the same direction. We'll change directions in a minute. Now change directions with your rotation. As I've said in the past, we tend to go what's more comfortable for us the first time without even being aware. If you had to think about it, you wouldn't be able to do it. Your body just does it. It picks the least challenging way to move first, so that when you change direction, it may not be as comfortable. It could be the same for some people, but for most of us, there's a difference, and you feel the difference. So going in the other direction is important because that's the more challenged way. That's the way we need it the most. I'll bring the knee back in, and I always bend my other leg so I can shift my hips to the right more easily. And then I straighten my left leg out and take my right knee across. I might shift a little bit more. You rotate from the ribs as you hold your right leg with your left hand. Reach your right arm out just to the side, to the back of the body, without pulling down on your shoulder to do it. You can have padding, even if your arm resting on something. Do what works for you. Again, do not pull on the shoulder with the arm, trying to get the shoulder down to the floor. With all the shoulder injuries that we hear about or that we experience, let's not make it happen on purpose. And it is on purpose. If you're doing that and you hurt yourself, it's on purpose. So don't do it. Roll back over, bring your knee up, keep your right knee bent, let your right knee go out to the right, left leg is straight, you're still lying down, but your right knee is out. Hold it, relax, don't force it. Left buttock is down, right knee is out. You're just letting gravity stretch you. Always, if you're pushing too hard into a stretch, you want to make it challenging so you can feel that you don't want to make it sharp pains, or you're familiar with your body. You know if you need to hold back on some stretches sometimes. Do that. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. And being kind is challenging yourself without hurting yourself. Straighten your right leg beside your left and hug your left knee in towards your chest. Hold it. Believe the wonderful weather we're having after tons of rain, for one thing. Plus cold. The nights are still kind of chilly. But I can't believe it's reaching 70 and so on this week. That's just wonderful. That's my kind of weather. Although I like it even hotter, as you all know. Cup your left hand around the top of the knee and rotate from the hip using rotating the upper leg. Hold of that knee. Gentle rotation just to maintain range of motion in our hips. Just lubricate the hip joints. Make it feel good. Maybe increasing range of motion a little bit. It's so hard. I could, I suppose, bike. It's not as much fun biking by myself, though. I'm not big on just walking. I'm a walker in the city. I like walking around neighborhoods and looking at gardens, and I'm a city walker. Country, not so much, oddly enough. Although I do like trails. Circle the other way around, please. In the woods or Lake Atalanta. I mean, that's a nice hike, but I don't feel like driving. I have to walk someplace. Just cost. Then I have to park and stuff. But I could take my bike out there. I have there's some little neighborhoods around here that I could ride my bike in. Maybe I'll do that. I might walk the dogs, take them out of their big yard and walk them up the driveway and back. I think that's the greatest thing ever. Getting one on the leash while the other one has to wait is never fun. It always makes me feel sad, but they know when I come back, they know it's their turn, so it's not too bad. Bring your left knee in, take it across the body for a twist. Shift your hips to the left. Remember not to force your left shoulder down. If it pulls too much on your shoulder to even have your left arm out, then just bend your elbow or let your left hand rest on your side. Just so you feel a nice stretch on your left outer thigh, outer hip. If I walk up and down the driveway, that will be twice, both up and down. That's a mile, total mile, because it's a quarter mile. So I will walk a mile. That's pretty far from me. And roll back over. Let your knee stay bent. Let your knee go out to the left. Your left foot might touch your right inner thigh. Recline tree. Hold it. And it always amazes me because they're kind of crazy dogs that when I walk one and I bring him back and I put him inside, and they'll go in easily enough. They don't try to interfere when I put the collar on and the leash on the other dog. They know that they've had their turn, but the first time in, both of them want to be first, so that's kind of complicated. Afterwards, it's not so bad. Hey, keep your left knee bent. Bring your right leg up, bend your right knee bottom. So if your feet together, knees apart from each other, flying bound angle. I used to have a cat that would walk with me up the driveway and back. That always worried me. But she and the one German Shepherd that was out and about used to sleep together. She'd sleep right on the German Shepherd. Okay, knees up. Now we're going to do a different bound ankle, which we have done numerous times. Cross your right ankle over your left ankle. Your feet are on the ground, your knees are bent, and then separate your knees. And adjust your feet. Try to keep your heels in close. Try to relax. Hold the stretch. This is a different stretch. This is more of a hip stretch. Feel it. Try to relax. She was the one that cat part Siamese. If I was floated on the pool on a floaty and she would walk along the edge of the pool and I'd go over close to the pool and she'd step off the edge right onto my belly. That made me really nervous. Trust me. But she would just sit there, lay there, and I could paddle out into the pool with my hands. And she trusted me. I didn't necessarily trust her. She had claws, and they were on my belly. So I wouldn't last very long before I'd go back to the edge and kind of lift her up or however I could to get her back on the deck. Knees up, cross the left ankle in front and separate your knees. Hold the stretch. Yeah, I feel this all. You can feel this all the way down to your knees, which shows how the tight hips can affect the knees. Actually, on this side, on me, this is really uncomfortable. I must need it more. No sharp stabbing pains or anything, but really, really uncomfortable. I have to really work to stay relaxed in this. Knees slowly up. Yeehaw. Take your strap. Put the strap around the ball of the right foot. Stretch it straight up. Straighten your left leg out or keep your left knee slightly bent for your back. Again, leg straight and lift your pelvis a little bit. So keep your knee slightly bent. Straighten that right leg straight up and hold the stretch. Legs slowly, carefully out to the right. Remember, the left buttock doesn't lift. You stay nice and flat, equally, just the same. There'll be a slight pull on your left side as your right leg goes out, as well as, of course, the right hip. It doesn't necessarily have to rest on the ground, but if you wanted to, you can release the pull so it's down closer to the left leg and then just slide it out a little bit, keeping it on the ground, paying attention to your left buttock and hip that it stays down. Hold the stretch. That left side of lifting is just because the leg is tight, it's giving into the tightness. Trying to allow you to have the leg on the floor, even if you lose a lot of the stretch that way. Slowly bring your leg up and across. Shift your hips to the right. Hold the strap in your left hand. Again, don't force your right shoulder to the ground. You can bend your left knee, being on your side as well. Just so you feel a stretch on the outer right thigh. Leg back up. Lower that leg to the mat. Change sides. Left leg up. Straight up. Hold the stretch. You can relax the foot so that it comes down toward your shin a little bit. You can get more of a stretch in your calf. Right knee slightly bent. Protect your back. Or bent more. Cover what you needed for your back. Just think. Next, well, it probably won't be till Thursday that I'll be able to have the microphone set up. And I will test ahead of time, but it's hard to tell here. See if the music will play. So you won't have to play your own music. You get to listen to my stuff again. Oh, that's so exciting. Slowly leg out to the left. Hold the stretch. Right buttock stays down. Excuse me. Slowly back up and lower down. Then we do a cross. No, I don't think you did. Do a cross. If you did do a cross, somebody tell me. If not, take your left leg across the body. Now I think you did. If not, do it. If you did, hug your knees in and rock side to side. Oh, my mind's all over the place today. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, whatever you were doing, release. Come to seated comfortably. Let's just do a little bit of breathing. And to namaste. Inhale, arms out to the side and up. And exhale, your hands back to heart center. Inhale, gather in healing and peace. And exhale that healing and peace from your heart center out through your whole body. Inhale. You can exhale it to somebody who may need healing and peace right now. Picture them in your mind. Keep yourself peaceful as you send it out to others. One more time. Thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And I will see most of you on Thursday. Satnam and Namaste.